We're normally not up this early, but today we have to go to the hospital because Alaina's in trouble. At least we get a nice sunset, or sunrise. It's early. We just got to the hospital and we went inside and we got turned away because we have to take a free corona test outside and I can't have a camera. So it looks like we're switching to iPhone.
You need to cover your outfit too.
That was a good one.
Oh, you are.
So please open widely and aim. 3 and down.
Good thing we got here early because now we have to wait 15 minutes to get our COVID test results.
Oh, the results are in? Negative. Come on. Results part 2. And we are negative, baby. We're being sent on a wild goose chase around the hospital. We've gone to like 4 different places. So they wouldn't let me go back into the infusion room with Alaina. So now I'm walking to the cafeteria to go book our travel. We actually have nowhere to stay tomorrow. So I'm gonna go do that. We also need to leave the Schengen zone. So we don't even have time to like stay in Germany longer to figure anything out. Our visas are running out, we only have 90 days. So hopefully I can work something out here. Okay, let's fill this out. And let's go. Alaina's all done with her infusion. And I'm coming to help her get a receipt so we can submit it to insurance. Hi. How was it?
Great. Have you been in the cafeteria?
Yeah.
It is now 1:30 and we finally made it out of the hospital. We've been there since 7:30.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a adventure. We had to ask for about 29 things after the appointment so we could submit everything to insurance and ran all over the hospital like 4 times.
They're probably so happy that we're finally gone.
I think they started laughing at us at the end, which is whatever, but now it's over. I need a spoon, I need a spoon. Finally back at the Airbnb.
Time for some food because I haven't eaten a single thing today.
You got a banana.
Oh, I had a banana. I forgot about that. I had a banana today. I would like something more.
Mmm. Yummy peas and carrots. This is all the food we had left. Okay, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours later, we're finally recording our video. We meant to do this back then, but we actually fell asleep.
We were just exhausted from this morning, waking up super early and being at the hospital for 5 hours. I guess we've never mentioned why we're at the hospital and doing all this is because I've been diagnosed with Crohn's disease for about 5 years now. And so that means just like every 8 weeks I have to go into the doctor's and get an infusion, which basically I just sit there for like 4 hours while medicine gets pumped into my veins. Crohn's disease is inflammation of your intestines and colon. I actually don't even know that many details about it. I should know more, but the great part about this medicine is that it just makes me forget that I even have a disease. It's a miracle drug is what they call it. And so after I get out of the hospital, I just live my life normal, forget about my disease, unless I eat something weird that makes my stomach hurt, but very rarely. The issue we've had with doing all this while traveling is it is extremely difficult to get insurance to cooperate. I have a global insurance, so it works globally, but yet it's still so difficult to get information and get insurance to pay for the hospital bills. The great thing, though, about Germany is that the total bill for my medicine was $3,000 before insurance. In the US, it's $30,000 before insurance.
Literally 10 times the amount. That's insanity.
That just shows you how messed up the US healthcare system is, actually. We're still trying to figure out all the insurance stuff. We had to pay a down payment today, and we're still working on getting reimbursed for everything and all that junk. So
yeah, part of why we're so exhausted.
the lesson to be learned here is that even I wasn't sure if this was all going to work out, and that we were just going to have to fly home, get my medicine, and just call it quits, and maybe be able to start traveling after a couple weeks or a couple months or something. But with persistence and prayer, you can travel with chronic illnesses. This is your inspiration to go out and travel, even if I'm giving bad medical advice. Anyway, it's been fun.
Several more dollars than I'd like to admit spent later. We now have a train from Regensburg, where we are now, to Munich tomorrow. A flight on Turkish Airlines to the Saw airport in Istanbul, which is kind of annoying because it's about 2 hours away from where we're staying. An Airbnb, which actually looks really cool and kind of unique. I don't know, it took a long time to find this one, but it was cheap and it looks nice and it's pretty centrally located. And e-visas for Turkey. This one was the most worrisome because I realized I'd already booked the flight, and then I was like, oh wait, we probably need visas. So I looked up really quick how to get visas, and thankfully there's an automated system where you can get it in like 20 minutes. So I got both of our visas, but that was another $100. So with all 4 things booked, we're ready to go. And now we're gonna do what we've been planning to do for the past few days, but have not actually gotten around to it, and go to the most important thing in Regensburg at the moment. So twice a year, Regensburg has 2 festivals, once in the spring called Maidult, and once in the fall called Herbstdult. Both I'm just referring to as Dult. We didn't know this before coming here because we actually picked the hospital before picking the city, but this is actually one of the best festivals in Germany, a lot of sources say, which is pretty exciting. We were really sad at first because we couldn't go to Oktoberfest. We're like a week out from when it starts, which is unfortunate. And we're in Bavaria, so we wanted to experience Oktoberfest. But we got really lucky because Regensburg has a giant beer festival. It's in a part of town called Dultsplatz. I think we can get there with public transportation. And they have all kinds of beer and games and activities and music and I don't know, everything. So we're excited. We're gonna go check it out. Also, sorry for such a long talking segment. We just had a lot to say, so.
Normally, when you go to Dult, you're supposed to wear lederhosen, but this is the outfit we're working with today. We will not be blending in.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that we're gonna be in Turkey tomorrow, like over 1,000 miles away. I know we do stuff like this all the time. It's kind of like our full-time job at the moment, but it's still kind of crazy that we're going to Turkey. Turkey's also just very foreign. I don't really know a lot about Turkey other than its food's really good and it has a lot of giant places and it's really old. So.
New currency, new language, and Turkey has been on my bucket list for like the past year or 2, so I'm excited.
Me too.
It's also so affordable compared to the places we've been at, so that's also really exciting because we have a really nice Airbnb that we got for a really good price. So there's this thing at Dult where if you climb up this big wooden pole and ring the bell, you get a free mass, which is a liter of beer. So Ben's practicing on this tree. We don't even like beer, so
let's go.
If we're gonna get a mass, we want it to be free.
We walked all the way to the bridge that we thought was the bridge to get over to the other side, but it's not.
And it's blocked off.
So now we have to walk back like another mile, and then walk another mile back again.
Yay! Woohoo! Getting our steps in today. We're on our journey over to Dult. I'm going to give you some background info on it. Dult has a longer tradition than Oktoberfest. It dates all the way back to the 10th century. The townspeople of Regensburg started this tradition, whereas Oktoberfest started as a wedding celebration for the princess and prince. So technically, this festival was made for the people, by the people. There are only 2 tents though, which I think Oktoberfest has like 12 tents or something. There's no waiting in long lines, way less people, better experience, games, rides, and shops. So let's go see what we can see.
We're walking through all the rides right now, and it's so much like a fair in the United States, it's not even funny.
There's even American flags on some of the rides.
We're gonna try to go back to the big tent, because that seemed like where the party was. It's also very loud.
I'm ready to eat our apple strudel.
It's hot. Oh my god. It's like melting in my mouth.
Starfotograf für Regensburg schlechthin. Günther Staudinger ist in Presseposition. 1, 2.
Just climbed the maypole. It was exhilarating. Every single person in the whole giant festival was watching you do it, but it was a lot easier than I even thought it was going to be. Like, I think climbing helps immensely. It's mostly your legs, and so you just have to like perch like a little bird. Anyway, now we have a free liter of beer that we're going to redeem in a second, but we wanted a pretzel to go along with it, so we're getting a pretzel first.
Thank goodness we don't have to pay for a beer that we're not going to drink all. But literally, he like flew up there. Most people were taking so long to get to the top, and he just like, it took like 3 seconds. He goes ding ding ding, made it to the top. I wouldn't expect anything less from Ben.
Okay, we got our gargantuan pretzel. Now we're going back in to get our beer, our gargantuan beer. That was a lot of fun.
We finally got our true German experience. I mean, we did with Hannah too, that was pretty authentic, but this was like the beer and big pretzel and lederhosen.
It's like what you think of when you think of like, oh, we're going to Germany for Oktoberfest and for all the beer festivals. This was it. This was awesome. It redeemed all of our hospital stays and bad trains, and Germany is on our top of the list now rather than near the bottom because of all our bad experiences. Now we're headed back to the Airbnb. It's pretty late, so we're just gonna go to bed. We have to get up pretty early tomorrow. Because
we're catching a flight. Oh yeah. It doesn't feel real right now.
No, it doesn't.
I don't feel like we're about to get on an airplane.
Seems like Turkey is about 8 years away, but
we're gonna be there tomorrow.
All right, that's the end.
Ben got so much adrenaline and energy from our pretzel and beer and apple strudel, and from climbing that pole. He ran all the way to the end of the bridge. Silly, silly boy.
Ah.